What if the human brain isn't the pinnacle of evolution, but its most unexplainable glitch? In evolutionary terms, the human brain makes no sense. It's disproportionately large, extraordinarily complex, and demands a massive amount of energy to function, nearly 20% of the body's total, despite accounting for only about 2% of its mass. But what truly baffles scientists is the speed at which it developed. In less than 2 million years, a blink by evolutionary standards, the hominin brain tripled in size. That rate of growth is virtually unheard of in nature. Most evolutionary traits appear incrementally. They're tested, refined, and slowly integrated over millions of years. But the human brain seems to have leapt forward in a dramatic burst with no clear environmental trigger or gradual progression. Even more puzzling, as the brain grew, we lost other survival tools. We became physically weaker, our jaws shrank, our hair disappeared, our infants became more vulnerable. In short, we traded immediate survival advantages for long-term cognitive potential, something evolution typically avoids. There's no universally accepted explanation for why our brains exploded in size and complexity so quickly. And that's why many scientists now refer to it as an evolutionary anomaly, a development that breaks the usual rules. Whatever happened during that short window of time, it didn't just give us intelligence. It redefined what life on Earth was capable of. From an energy standpoint, the human brain shouldn't exist. Evolution favors efficiency. Every trait an organism develops has to be worth the energy it costs to maintain, especially in harsh, resource-scarce environments. And yet, our brain is the most energy-hungry organ in the human body. It consumes a staggering 20–25% of the body's energy, even at rest. No other species, not even our closest primate relatives, invest this much into a single organ. So why did nature tolerate such a costly development? There's no clear answer. The human brain's metabolic demands should have been a liability. Large brains make childbirth more dangerous, increase gestation time, prolong childhood dependency, and require higher daily caloric intake. From a purely Darwinian perspective, these are red flags, disadvantages that typically get selected against. And yet, our species not only survived with this burdensome brain, we thrived. Some researchers have proposed that the development of cooking or social cooperation might have helped offset the brain's energy costs. Others suggest a feedback loop of problem solving and communication drove brain growth despite the cost. But none of these theories fully explain the timing, speed, or scale of change. It's as if evolution broke its own rules to prioritize intellect, even when survival seemed to demand the opposite. Something pushed the human brain forward, hard and fast against every biological restraint. The question is, what was that something? In evolution, big changes usually leave traces. The human brain left almost none. One of the most puzzling aspects of our brain's development is the lack of a clear fossil record to explain its growth. Yes, we have skulls from early hominins, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and others. But the jump from primitive cranial structures to the highly complex modern brain seems to happen far too quickly, and without enough intermediate forms to explain the transformation. The fossil record shows a tripling of brain size in roughly 1.5 to 2 million years. And while that may sound like a long time, in evolutionary terms, it's lightning fast, especially for something as biologically demanding as brain tissue. There's no equivalent in the natural world where such a vital and complex organ evolved so rapidly. And it's not just the size. The human brain is structurally different. It's uniquely folded, more densely connected, and hosts radically enhanced regions for language, abstract thought, and imagination. None of our evolutionary cousins show this same leap in architecture, even those that lived alongside us. The missing steps are what alarm scientists. Evolution is rarely clean, but it's usually traceable. In this case, the trail is blurred, almost erased, as if something skipped the line or something else intervened. Whether that something was environmental, cognitive, or something stranger remains unknown. But one thing is clear: the standard model doesn't fully account for what happened to our minds. What if intelligence didn't just evolve? What if it emerged? Natural selection is a powerful force, but it's not perfect. It works through trial and error, through the slow, painful filtration of genetic advantages. But intelligence, the kind of intelligence humans possess, seems like too much, too fast. It didn't just help us survive. It gave us tools to reshape the planet, split atoms, create languages, art, civilizations, and even question our own existence. That level of cognition is massively overbuilt for the environments early humans lived in. You don't need Shakespeare or spacecrafts to find food or escape predators. You don't need calculus to track herds or make fire. Our intelligence goes far beyond the practical needs of survival, and that makes it evolutionarily suspect. Some evolutionary biologists argue that our brains developed as a side effect of social interaction, that language, empathy, and group cooperation created an arms race of cognitive complexity. But even that doesn't fully explain the explosion in abstract thinking, symbolic reasoning, or the sudden rise of creativity. It's as if consciousness wasn't just the result of adaptation, but a fundamental shift in the nature of life itself. We didn't just evolve a better brain, we crossed a threshold. And evolution, as we understand it, doesn't fully explain how or why, which raises a chilling and thrilling question. Did something else drive us over the edge of awareness? What if Earth itself pulled the trigger? While the brain's growth defies evolutionary pace, some scientists believe that environmental chaos may have forced our ancestors to adapt or vanish. Between 2.5 and 1.5 million years ago, Earth experienced dramatic climate shifts, cycles of drought, ice, flood, and volcanic activity that transformed Africa's landscape again and again. In this chaos, survival demanded more than muscle. It required flexibility, prediction, planning, all cognitive traits. The theory suggests that unpredictable conditions created a natural pressure cooker for brain development. Those who could anticipate seasonal changes, find new food sources, or cooperate socially had a better chance to survive. This is known as the variability selection hypothesis, and it's one of the few ideas that aligns with both the speed and scale of our mental leap. But even this theory has holes. Environmental pressure can explain why intelligence might be valuable, but not how such a massive, coordinated upgrade happened across multiple cognitive domains so quickly. The leap wasn't just in memory or movement. It included language, symbolism, self-awareness, and future thinking. Capacities that don't just help you eat, but help you imagine and invent. That still feels like more than survival demanded. So while Earth's turmoil may have lit the fuse, it still doesn't explain the firestorm that followed. Something catalyzed the shift from clever animal to conscious human, and that something remains one of evolution's greatest blind spots. We shouldn't be here. At least not like this. The modern human brain is a paradox. It's too advanced, too costly, and too powerful to have emerged through ordinary means. It defies evolutionary tempo, breaks natural energy budgets, and creates far more than survival requires. It writes symphonies. It builds artificial worlds. It wonders about its own existence. No other species has done this, not even close. So what are we exactly? Some scientists suggest we experienced a cognitive Big Bang, a phase shift, not unlike water becoming steam, where the brain suddenly accessed a new dimension of function. Others speculate that culture, language, and technology created feedback loops that supercharged our intelligence. And a few, cautiously, wonder if we're missing a key variable entirely, something we haven't even thought to look for. Because the truth is, we don't know. And that makes the human brain not just a marvel, but a mystery. Perhaps the most profound anomaly in evolutionary science. Maybe we were pushed by chaos. Maybe we were pulled by complexity. Maybe consciousness is a law of nature we haven't discovered yet. Or maybe, as some philosophers suggest, intelligence is not a product of evolution, but its purpose. In a world governed by chance and competition, the human mind remains an improbable miracle, one that raises more questions than it answers. And perhaps that's the most human thing of all.